at the Speedway
Oh,
restaurant.
no oil bud?
Cindy for
Yours are
sure is
double
not
booked.
gonna be on Zoom.
Really?
He's in Montana right now.
Zoom.
Is he? Oh, goodness, because I was gonna go. He said Brandon's in Montana right now.
I haven't heard.
Yeah, you guys know like Kimberly.
I haven't heard her earlier today. I think she's planning on watching. I spoke to her early in the morning.
Oh, you did.
So he's on Zoom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's coming down.
September 3rd, 2024, meeting of the Grand Forks County Commission will come to order. All commissioners are present either in the room or on Zoom. We will start with the pledge of allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The first item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes. Do I have a motion to approve or any
So moved.
questions? Second, Commissioner Roth, Commissioner Rusta. All in favor of the motion to approve the minutes of the last meeting, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Was that opposed or was that an aye of approval? Cindy?
And I.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Passed unanimously. I think it's a little delay on the Zoom, so that's what causes the problem. Then the order of agenda. Does any commissioner have an amendment to the order of agenda? Hearing none, motion. Commissioner Hagan, second by Commissioner Rusted. All in favor of that motion, signify by saying aye.
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 Pass it out.
Well, it sounded like 4-1.
What?
It sounded like it might have been 4-1.
No. Let's not put up the, it sounded enough to speed. The consent agenda includes bills, employee staff changes, overtime, two game of chance permits. Does anyone want anything pulled? If not, do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda? So moved. Commissioner Ross to approve. Second. Commissioner Hagan, second. She put her hand up. Mr. Ross just said it to me. Sorry. All in favor of the approval of the consent agenda, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Passed unanimously. Now we have the Renaissance Zone Plan update.
Good afternoon, Commissioner Ng and members of the County Commission. My name is Andy Conlon, work for the City of Grand Forks, joined by Haley Grasser, also with the city. Here with a update to the Renaissance Zone, specifically the Grand Forks Renaissance Zone Plan. At the last legislative session, the state made a variety of changes to the program. So what we're here to do is present those changes to you. As part of our process to have our plan reflect the changes that the state has made. We believe provided us our staff report that kind of highlights a lot of those changes. I won't necessarily go through each of those in too much detail. Other than to highlight a couple of the larger changes. One of them being that certain projects, qualifying projects for major reinvestments, which the state defines as 75% of current and true value investment or higher, would qualify for up to 8 years exemption as opposed to the current 5. The other major change that we're proposing is we, as a result of the last census figures, we were able to add a block to the zone, the number of blocks community gets is population debate. So we were able to add a block to the zone. We're proposing to add that along the Gateway corridor. We've seen some preliminary success. I guess we had the old El Rocco bottle shop. That redevelopment there took advantage of the Renaissance zone in that area, so we're hoping to expand that along that district. We originally actually asked to try and grab all the way from Columbia and Washington north, that kind of large wedge that would include the among other things, the fairgrounds and the jail and stuff. The state thought that maybe it was a little bit too ambitious of a definition of the word block, so we settled back down to the area that we outlined, which is bordered Gateway to the south, and then about 300 feet depth back to the bike path that runs behind or north of Gateway there. And then, of course, Washington to the east, and then the entrance to the county fairgrounds to the west. So that kind of big stretch, that north side of Gateway, is the block that we're proposing to add. Other than that, like I said, as part of the state's changes in the program, we are required to go to other taxing entities, including obviously the county commission and the school district. I believe next week we're heading to the school Monday. We're heading to the school district next week to give them the same presentation. So as part of that, the state requires letters of support from other taxing entities. So wanting to provide that update, certainly stand for any of your questions in advance of that.
So the request is a support letter.
Yep, that's right.
I move we authorize the chair to put a letter of support.
Yeah, that's the only request from us.
That's right. Yep. Certainly, like I said, happy to answer any questions or take any comments or anything like that for sure. But the support. Yeah, to ask.
That was a motion?
That was a motion.
Second?
Okay.
Commissioner Hagan? Commissioner Peach, have you got any questions for the Renaissance zone?
No, I have none. Thank you.
All right. Hearing no further discussion, all in favor of approving the letter of support? Signify by
Aye.
opposed. Passed unanimously and quickly.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
That letter of intent, or do we have one for us to sign?
I don't think there's one on the top.
Yeah. I'll
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're pretty close to the time period I thought it would take. All right. Then we have, we're already at county administrator.
Yes, Mr. Chair, members of the commission, thank you. Mr. Chair, I'd like to table the DSIP MOU until the next commission meeting, just because we're waiting on some different input from old CC. So I'll bring that back in 2 weeks. The next one is the professional services fees for DSIP. So as you know, the DSIP funds cannot fund professional services, so architects, engineering. And so the plan had always been among staff and Grand Sky was to use the state appropriated EUL development funds to handle that. And so today I'm requesting that the commission approve and appropriate $900,000 of the state appropriated EUL development funds to fund the cost of those professional services. This is for the fire station on Grand Sky. So that'd be my request. And that is an allowable expense of the state money.
Any questions about the fire station by anybody or maybe from the Commissioner Page?
I would move approval.
All right.
Second.
Is there a second? Commissioner Rusted? No further discussion apparently, so if you all have to approve the motion, just signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Passed unanimously again.
Thank you. Lastly is I put a public engagement meeting notice on your desk. So that is for the North Dakota DOT public engagement or open house having to do with the Highway 2 intersection. September 24th from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. at the Hilton Garden Inn. And the state's asked that the county help push that out, which we'll do. And that's all I have.
All right.
After I got that, in my email inbox, I pinged the talk radio station and I already know it was in the Herald or scheduled to release, so hopefully we get some good amount of people, sharing their opinions on that, because Lord knows they're in my email inbox.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Ms. Wamsa, do you have anything today?
I have nothing, thank
All
you.
right. Committee reports, Commissioner Peach, we'll start with you.
I have nothing to report.
Mr. Ross.
I have nothing to report. We didn't have a construction meeting this morning, so.
Oh, all right. Mr. Rusted.
As far as committee, not so much, but maybe an update and maybe to inform the commission. Commissioner Peach, can you hear me good?
Yes, I can.
So I had a meeting last week with Ms. Teal and Mr. Ford. And one of the things came out of that meeting was I did not realize how archaic our system of timekeeping and payroll was. And I think basically what came out of it is that we've got essentially a full-time employee that works 1 week every 2. So basically half his time is spent manually getting people paid. When there's an awful lot of systems out there that could make that job an awful lot easier. And so I guess what I would request would be just maybe a conversation among the commission and the other parties that we entertain a request for information, won't cost us anything. And find out if there is an entity locally or in the region or whatever that has a solution that could really speed things up with the sheriff's department and then of course the county at large. If there's any appetite for doing such a thing, I mean, I think that seems to me to be wise. Now, if it comes back and it's a preposterous amount of money, then obviously we probably can't move forward, but if it's something reasonable, I think the fellow's name is Leroy. We could really free him up to do other work if he's spending literally 50% of his time using, chiseling with a hammer into the side of a cave wall to get people paid. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Is there any interest?
Yeah, I'd be interested in
How about you?
hearing.
Mr. Ford, have you got any idea what it would take to get I suppose we'd have to send a request for proposal once we know what we want.
Yeah, I think so. In talking with Ms. Thiel and Commissioner Rusted, I think he just put out a request for information, basically product, installation cost, ongoing costs, essentially just get that information and bring it back to the commission so you can decide, like the commissioner said, you want to approve or pursue it or not. It's pretty easy, pretty bare minimum. And I know Miss Thiel's on vacation, but before I can whip one up and before it would go out, I just have Roberta and Michelle take a look at it and Haley look at it. And yeah, you just put it in the paper.
Perfect. And I don't think we need a motion to do that, do we?
It's just consensus and
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
all you're doing is looking for information, so I think if we have a consensus that he should do that, we can just go ahead, that's a great idea. But we'll see how great it is on the bike.
Yeah, when the cost comes back,
It's a good idea.
it turned out to be mediocre at best.
Not a good idea. That's a terrible idea.
All right.
That's all I have, sir.
Commissioner Hagan.
The library board meeting, another spicy one. We have the North Dakota, an advocacy manager from the ACLU came and chatted with us because of some movement of books in the library. We also had, I spoke with Amber Muscaditis this morning that, what's it called? Prolio? The stuff or the company that, not dictate, sorry, it's been a long day. What's the word am I looking for? Translation.
What?
the translation system, so they had a lot of folks come in and they were having a hard time processing their paperwork because they were having the language barrier. So we assigned a contract that I think it's the jail uses it as well. They finally used it. And she said it was great. They're really professional. They charge per engagement rather than, a flat fee. And they'll even say, hey, if it's above and beyond this set, $75, excuse me, they'll tell you before they do the service. So cost effective, I would assume as well. But on that,
All right. I have nothing since our last meeting. Unfinished or new business? You got something in there?
Mr. Chairman, members of the commission, we had a request, a taxpayer paid their payment on February 16th.
Right.
The discount period expires February 15th. She wanted to request that you treat her differently than we have treated anyone else. We have never allowed anybody to get the discount if they've missed the discount, and there's nothing in the law to do so, but there is the request.
I think that's come up before,
It has,
and we've said no,
that's correct.
and I think it has to remain no.
much as I hate it, I mean, it's
Yeah.
such a high end, it's mom, and if you miss something so simple, but. Then
Well,
you're
if you're
gonna
well
open it
in
up for
a position
everybody
where
else.
you're gonna send something and you kind of wait till the last day, like deer lottery, those sorts of things. But you could do it 2 days earlier, and then,
Hey, I've been there, it's a.
That happened to me one
super bummer.
Does it go off of receivable or postmark?
Nope, and I do have a copy of the postmark, goes
It's on
by
the-
postmark, and the next page shows you.
It's
February
16.
60, yeah, then I don't think there's anything we can do.
We go by that. If we get it on the 25th, then it says it was postmarked the 15th, they get the discount.
Yeah.
Yeah, the same thing, well, all kinds of deadlines like that. So do we need to have a motion on this? Or just, there's no motion to act, I suppose, I mean, we are just a consensus. Okay. All right.
All right, thank
That is
you.
a tough one. It's expensive, but what if you're 2 days late that?
Right.
And then you did it for the person who was 1 day late.
gotta keep
I was
it
only
on.
2 days late. So, okay, we'll have to move on. Correspondence, did you get a really good refund?
It's the same, pretty much $12,000 that we get,
How much?
12,000.
Well, I think that's pretty good.
But it's a
Okay.
good refund. It's similar.
Yeah.
To what we've
Yeah.
got the years past.
Oh, that's a good plan, good program. They've done a nice job with that.
Just informational.
Okay, and then solid waste permit, the next item.
Yep, and that's just informational too.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm. All right, well, motion to adjourn, please.
Second that motion.
All in favor of adjourning? Signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous. Is that clockwise?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're close.
I don't even, didn't have any.
Oh.